Hello? Freako! Oh, what the fuck? Sorry. I assume that you've concluded your time in the shower. I kind of heard you washing your genitals and... No. You don't need to get into details about that. Why are you here? How did you even get in? Well, like I said, I tore open a portal and I managed to get in because I'm a demon and I used a portal. Anyhow, I've had a falling out with Captain Skullhead. It's nothing too serious, just financial matters. You had a falling out with Captain Skullhead and you thought you'd come here. Isn't there anyone else in the fourth dimension that you can annoy? Poisonous people, sex demons? Well, I could, but they'd all bum and rape me. Anyhow, I was just wondering if, I could stay here for a few days, a week or a few weeks, a month tops. I promise I'll keep the house tidy for you. Also, I pretty much have nothing to do with myself now that I'm taking a break from Freako bites till the autumn. Please? You want to stay here for a few days, a few weeks, a month tops. Fine, but you're staying on the couch. Oh, excellent! So, where is the couch exactly?
I see the bad moon rising. I see trouble on the way. I see earthquakes and lightning. I see...
Hello there, YouTubies! So, welcome to this month's Horror Talk. This month coming to you from my bedroom. So, about the whole thing there with me and Dr Freako, you shouldn't worry, he's not going to be around for long. He's only staying for about a few days or a week, about a month tops. Okay, so, yes, this month's Horror Talk discussion is on the Final Destination series. So, it was, the films based on the comic book series and graphic novels of the same name. In 2000, the first film came out, directed by James Wong. Now this was done on a very tight budget, and I have to say, for the director James Wong, his timing on some of the stuff, the effects and all that stuff is spot on and that. So. The film stars some kid, Ali Lotta, Sean William Scott and some others, with cameo from Tony Todd. So what happens in it is this kid Alex, he gets on a plane to Paris, he sees himself on the plane and then it starts to explode and he burns and dies, and well, when he sees his death before it happens, he goes all panicky and gets off the plane when he's causing distress and that in the airport and stuff. Next thing, outside the plane's exploded and shit. So next thing you know, it turns out that they're part of this game, that Death, the Grim Reaper, and we never actually see Death at all. Not at all. We never see the Grim Reaper. So what happens in it is, one by one, Alex starts to have predictions of death scenes of people who are who were meant to die in the order that they should have done on the plane. Because it's like, in this, they can't cheat death. Death just finds a way of catching up with them. So, there's various death scenes in it. I mean, some are funny, some are stupid. There's like one death scene where one of the characters, Todd, he's something in his toilet leaks and he slips. He gets something wrapped on his neck and he gets strangled to death. Sort of kind of looks like suicide almost, if you will. Next one, another death scene is where the teacher, her cooked chips, an electrical fault happens, shit just goes wrong with it, and she gets killed by trying to grab a kitchen towel to stop the bleeding because her computer explodes. A bit of the glass screen gets into her neck, and this was 2000. It's not like today where it's all LCD screen. Anyhow, another death scene that I like is when the girl steps into the middle of the road and she just says, "You can drop fucking dead." The next thing, you know, she gets hit by a bus and splatters and that. Another one is Sean William Scott's death, which is funny because his head just gets sliced off when a train hits the car and they all get out, but then a bit of the car flings back at him when the train's going through. So, anyway, you know, Alex believes that if he can cheat death, if someone can cheat death once more, they can, you know, break the chain and stop it all. And at the end, they think they've done it, they get a whole new lease of life and shit, and, you know, next thing you know, death comes back one more time and gets them. 3 years later, in 2003, taking place 1 year after the film, why didn't he just take place 3 years after? So basically, Final Destination 2 came out in 2003, but it's set in 2001. So yes. So in this one, a girl, Kimberly, she predicts her death before it happens on the Highway 180. That's another thing too. You know, it always revolves around the number 180. You know, because the first one I forgot to mention, it was Flight 180. The second one, it's Highway 180. And, yeah, she sees her death before it happens. Next thing, she causes chaos for some other people that were meant to have died in the accident. And again, one by one, they all start getting picked off by death. This second instalment was directed by David R. Ellis. And again, he did a great job in the director's chair. I thought this one... Now, for me, Final Destination 2 is one of my favourites. I ought to do a review on the series as well. To me, it has the funniest death scenes. One of my favourite death scenes is the fire escape. This guy wins the lottery and stuff. Next thing you know, he gets this whole electrical fault in his apartment. He manages to escape. But, you know, he has an incident with some spaghetti that ends up getting thrown out the window. And so, yeah, he escapes and stuff. And then next thing you know, he slips on the spaghetti and falls. And then the fire escape ladder just goes right into his face and like, shit. And for me, that death was funny because it was avoidable. You know, I mean, he had plenty of time to move. He thinks you think by just slipping and falling on your arse, you'd move quickly in case anything should fall on you, like the ladder. And it does. It impales him through the eye. Others that are avoidable are the woman in it. There's one death scene which I think is gone plain stupid. A kid, he runs out. He just comes out of the dentist, and there we are thinking, oh no, is this going to happen? That going to happen? Next thing you know, he scares off some pigeons. The pigeons fly over this guy who knocks this crane that's lifting this massive pane of glass. It drops, it falls on the kid and flattens him. For me, that's a funny death scene, and it's giving me the chuckles just thinking about it. Another death scene which I thought was funny and avoidable was his mother, when she got her hair caught in a guy carrying some hooks. Basically, it was the main girl, Kimberly's fault for phoning her, telling her all that shit. She gets a haircut. Next thing, she panics. The lift closes. She gets decapitated by a lift. And again, it's funny. It's daft. Another one. A woman, she gets stuck in her car. A plastic pipe's just behind her head. She cheated death. Or so we thought. Next thing you know, when they're trying to cut her out of the car, the airbag goes up. They should have just removed the sodding pipe first. See, this to me is just a matter of common sense. There's another bit where a guy gets himself cut to pieces by barbed wire. So, to me, it's just completely, daftness for me. So that's what happens in the second movie. Also, Ali Laughton returns in this one as well, reprising her role. So she's like the only one from the original left, along with Tony Todd's cameo again as the coroner. I'm not sure what his character is all about. I'm thinking, is he deaf himself or something? All we know is that he just, comes back every now and then. His job is to clean up after the game, Death's game. In this, we do get a quick glimpse of the Grim Reaper's shadow of his hands in the movie for a split second. But again, we never see the Grim Reaper. We don't see him at all in the films. So yes. But the third movie, so Tony Todd's character, the coroner, we don't really see him again until the fifth movie. So yes, that's the first and second films. And then, of course, 2006, the third movie came out. I can remember this one coming out in cinemas, 2006. And this one, Final Destination 3, was directed by James Wong. So he returned as director in this film and co-writer as well. This time, it didn't really involve the number 180, but it was a roller coaster, and it starred Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She was in it, and she saw the vision this time of her death happening on the roller coaster. Next thing, she begs and screams not for them to start it. Again, that is an accident one. There's a knobhead on it who has the camcorder. He drops it, wraps around the track, the cord thing, and then that causes a whole malfunction with the roller coaster to happen, and they get killed. So that's the third one. Other things. Now, again, there are funny death scenes in this one. Also there's like some teen girls in it that are total bitches and that, and you pretty much don't care that they die. One death scene for me is the sunbeds. There's a scene where there's two girls that go in a sunbed, and I'm thinking this guy who works at the tanning salon is so careless. He goes on the phone, and the door locks from the inside. He puts in some sun lotion to wedge the door, and the two girls, they're like one's got a slush, and it just leaks, causing the sunbeds to malfunction and overheat, and it cooks them alive. Next thing, they burn. Also, they play that Red Hot Chili Peppers song, Roller Coaster of Love. Terrible way to go. There's a few more. There's one death scene in the gym. I like that one. Where Sorry there, just ran out of memory. So, as I was saying, there was a scene in the third film where they're in a gym, and then again it's like, oh my god, is this going to fall on them? Is this going to stop? Is this going to electrocute them? And then of course the whole thing goes off, and then some swords fall and cut these lines, these wires and that, and then this black guy's like, see there? Whoa, yeah, fuck death. And then just as he slams them down, the two weights crush his head and it splatters. That's a funny one for me. Also, another funny scene is when one of the kids completely goes insane after his girlfriend's killed by a nail gun. And then he's like, "You're all dead!" And the next thing, a billboard falls, some shit falls and it misses him, and he's like, "Yes, haha!" But then next thing you know, a big billboard comes and crushes him to death. So that's one. Now, I was thinking in this one, there was no number 180 involved, but at the end, when they go onto a subway train, they're on carriage 180. And also, there's this song in the film, in the third one, goes like, "There is someone walking behind you," or something. And Mary Elizabeth Winstead hears that. Next thing you know, she has another vision of her seeing her death before it happens. And then next thing, they're trying to get off the train and shit hits the fan. And that one just ends there. Now, I once thought if there is a Final Destination 3, and if they ever do another one, it'd probably be 3 years. And I was quite right. In 2009, we had the fourth installment, The Final Destination. Also known as Final Destination 4, this was titled The Final Destination, as I think it was they were aiming to wrap up the series there. Now, in this one, we had a racetrack, and the car number was 180, I think. And, in this car accident and that happens on the racetrack, a car explodes and, bits go everywhere and crush people and stuff. It is just one hell ride waiting to happen. So in the fourth one, I looked at the trailer saying 10 years ago it began. I think Final Destination came out in 2000. Why is it 10 years on? It should be 9 years on. So then we had more death scenes happening, like a death scene where a woman's telling her kids off after having beauty treatments. The guy on the lawnmower is on it and he gets a rock, shoots through her eye and stuff. We get like a scene where there's one guy who's trying to kill himself but thinks, the chain's broken and shit. They think there's loads of death scenes in this that, I've not seen this one a lot. Out of all of them, I think this is the one I've seen the least. Because the last two I didn't think were too brilliant. But in the fourth film, there's like a bit where he's stopping this explosion happening in a cinema, our main protagonist, and in the end they're like all la-di-da, happy as Larry, and that, they've got a new lease of life, but then it's like, they didn't stop anything because it was planned from the start, with the Grim Reaper and shit. So at the end they're pretty much buggered there. And then that was pretty much it for the Final Destination films. But then about 3 years, was it? 2010? No, 2 years later, we were given a surprise fifth installment called Final Destination 5. This one, it was a bridge, and our main protagonist, I can't remember his name, saw his death before it happened on a bridge collapsing. And there's a lot of shit happening, people getting killed and what have you on this bridge collapse. So in the fifth one, I think they sort of dropped the seriousness a bit and toned up the humour. Because there's a lot of funny scenes in this. There's one scene where an office guy, because they're like some office workers on a team building exercise and that, and one of the characters, he nicks a spa day voucher and he has acupuncture, he falls on his front, and then next thing you know he thinks he's survived, then a Buddha crushes him on the head. And also we get like another death scene where there's a guy doing this, that, or the other, cheating death and that. But of course this time they don't try and break the chain. No, we see the return of the coroner in this, Tony Todd, saying, "If you kill someone, then you can take their place in the Valley of the Living." And that. And, he's the same character as always been. He gets a bit more screen time, though, this time. The coroner, and that. Also, when they find out that they could put someone else in their place, next thing one of the characters goes all psychological and shit, tries to kill them and that, and everything and all that. Anyway, our main character, he's been offered an apprenticeship in Paris because he's a chef. He's been offered a chef apprenticeship in Paris. Next thing you know, he's going on the plane to Paris, and I was like thinking, hang on, this looks familiar. And then, would you believe in a plot twist? It's actually not a sequel at all. It is a prequel. So, Final Destination 5 reveals to be a prequel to the whole franchise. And then I look on the guy's passport, it says 1999, and I'm thinking, that's why it's like 10 years. So I'm thinking they must have had this in motion. You know, they must have had Final Destination 5 in motion and that for it all to happen and stuff. Because we actually see in the film that it's Flight 180 going to Paris, and we actually see, like, with some computer camera magic, we see, like, the guy from the first film getting off the plane because he said he saw it blow up. Next thing you know, our main characters in the fifth film, the plane ends up exploding and shit, and they're on board and stuff, and they die. And then, next thing you know, it pretty much goes back to the first Final Destination film. So, yeah, basically, Final Destination 5 reveals to be a prequel. In the fifth film, though, James Wong and David R. Ellis don't have any involvement as the director. This fifth film's directed by Stephen Quayle. And that's pretty much it for the Final Destination series. I mean, there's been talks of a sixth film for some time. I haven't heard anything more about a sixth movie happening. I'm thinking they can't really do much with the series now. I mean, come on. So yeah, I don't think there's going to be any more Final Destination movies. I don't see any point in it. I don't see it being necessary. So yes, that was this month's Horror Talk, the Final Destination franchise. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share with your friends. Also, please feel free to subscribe to my channel and to hit that notification bell so you can stay notified every time a new video is uploaded onto this channel. Mainly every Friday with a monthly show, and we have revolting reviews whenever. So yeah. Also, all my social media links, Facebook, Twitter, they're all linked down below in the description, along with a link to my Facebook group, the Random Horror Madhouse. So, if you ever want to join that, then please feel free to do so. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So, till next time, don't have nightmares.
Ross, you know your toilet?
Yeah, what about my toilet?
Yes, it's blocked.
It's blocked? Oh, fucking hell, Freako, you're paying for that.
But it's your toilet.
Yeah, but it's your shit.
But it is your toilet.
But it is your shit. It is your crap. In fact, you know what? I'm not having this argument with you anymore. Okay? It just... Ugh. You're a nightmare, Freako. Just shut up and put the tea on.
Alright then. Do you want some more loaf with that?
Yeah, I'll have a slice, yeah.
Okay then, off I go.